what you're talking about.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Real Deal Sports. Usual guys here, myself. We got Big Walt, Brother John, gentlemen. It's been an exciting, exciting and kind of sad couple days in sports. You got former Baltimore Raven Terry Saragusa passing away. Um, he was a big part of that 0-1 Ravens defense, letting Ray Lewis be able to fly around, make plays. And then also this week, guys, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. But how are you gentlemen doing today?
Good. I went out and played football in like 99-degree weather the other day, and I didn't think about how pasty I am, and I look like a prehistoric riverbed on my back right now because I burnt, man. I burnt.
Why you keep doing yourself like that?
He always setting himself up, man.
That ain't the worst. I got.
Hold on. Was you playing without a shirt?
Yeah, we were playing shirts and skids.
Oh my God! Why would you do that in the summer?
On turf, man, that stuff hurt. Well, we got.
You think it's carpet?
And here's the worst problem. That wasn't even the worst of it. Some dude out there thought he was Peanut Tillman, tried to come over my shoulder and punch the ball out when I caught it.
Hit you in the stomach?
No, man, I turned like this to catch the ball, and he just punched me right in the side of the head. Didn't even make contact with the ball at all. So I couldn't hear out of this ear for like 30 minutes. Well, I could, but it was like.
I thought you about to say about a couple of days. I'm about to be like, get that.
No, like 30 minutes. Like my hearing was a little faint.
The boy hit us with it. I ain't been able to hear it since Sunday.
I would have definitely had to retaliate later on in the game for sure.
Yeah. I would have had to catch him like a blind side or something.
I just made fun of him. Because I still caught the ball, and then people were laughing at him whatever. Anyway,
people take this stuff too serious.
He took the high road. He let his game talk.
True.
Yeah, he couldn't guard.
John let his game talk. Like our first topic, Rob Gronkowski has retired from the NFL for the second time. So, fellas, we're gonna start with you, Walt, since you left.
That's cool.
What you think, man? What you think about Gronk, man? He hopefully, he's done. But what do you think his career?
Well, I mean, honestly, of course, we all know Gronk has definitely had a great, career, in my opinion. He had his 4 Super Bowls, of course, but I mean, can we really say that he wouldn't have been able to got those if he wasn't playing with Tom Brady? Maybe. I mean, that's a topic for another day. But I'm just saying.
I mean, one of them you can. He was on the bench for one of them, so you.
Yeah, true. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, Gronk, he did his thing, though. Honestly, you know what I'm saying. He was definitely a big red zone target.
Before we do our top 5, like I think, like, do you think he's retired for good? That's what I want to know. Like, do you think he's actually walked away from the game?
I mean, why not? I mean, he really doesn't have anything else to prove. Honestly,
I honestly feel like
why continue to put your body through all that hell? You know what I'm saying? I mean, especially with him having his, I guess previous, he had concussions, I guess, if I'm not mistaken. So. I mean, why continue on to hurt your body, bro? Just you young, you can. I don't know. I mean, he could possibly be an analyst. I think he could add some type of excitement to be an analyst. But I mean, why not hang it up early, bro? You got 4 championships and you had a great career. So
I think as long as Tom Brady's still in NFL, there's always a chance.
Man, look,
he was actually talking about going playing Josh Allen, and I think that would be a good fit too.
That'd be crazy.
Was he? Yeah. I heard Joe Burrow, but
here's the thing, though, is
it
would take a special season, but he is 800 yards and 8 touchdowns away from 10,000 yards all time and 100 touchdowns. Like 10,000 and 100, that's a big club to be in. For that reason, as a fan, sure, I would love for him to come back. But this is a guy who played his whole career injured, man. I can't remember the last time I saw him without a knee brace or something on his elbow or something. You know what I mean? Like. And he never came into the league with like what we just saw as like outstanding talent, like that we thought from like Jimmy Graham and whatever, guys like that. I'm not gonna name all, the greats, and like the talented guys, I guess, so to speak. And like this guy is a guy who just played hurt. It seems like it's, and I know a lot of NFL players play hurt all the time, but this dude, man, like he just seemed like he was always playing hurt. Like he was always armed up with some sort of straps, braces every game. But so I don't know, how much that actually deters him. But he did talk about how he wasn't able to keep up with some guys in practice anymore, and and that obviously messes with your head. If you're like, you know, but
Oh, why not?
Now, what were you gonna ask about our top 5?
Oh
yeah,
yeah, I'll give you my top 5.
yeah, we want to hear
Tight ends ever or currently?
ever all time. So where do you rank? And we'll start with Walt. Where do you rank Rob Gronkowski? And if he's not in your top 5, just tell us where you have him. But we'll just give us your top 5 and then tell us where you rank Rob.
I mean, honestly, I
If you
actually
want to start with number 5, actually, we can do that. We can do number 5 and then go down. We can all do number 5 and then.
okay. You will okay. All right, for sure. All right. Well, wow. With my number 5, I'm gonna actually start with Shannon Sharp.
Ooh.
So, yeah, man, I think Shannon Sharp had a great career, bro. Like, especially helping the Baltimore teams. Yeah, 3-time. I'm sorry, Denver and Baltimore, and he's 3-time champion. I mean, I had over 10,000 yards, 62 touchdowns. Like, bro, he had a hell of a career. So, my number 4, I'm gonna say Jason.
Well, hang on. Let's do it. Let me give my number 5, and then
Oh,
we'll see
all
how
right.
we're different.
I
I'm
was
gonna do number 5. I got Kellen Winslow, the original.
How about the son or the fun?
definitely.
Man, the problem with his son, man, is like you can't find nothing about his dad because the son, man, like his dad did great things, man, and it went on to
He
do
fell
great
off.
things.
He got into a lot of trouble.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the dad. I'm saying like it's hard to find because the dad did a lot of great things, and then after his career did a lot of great things, and it's too bad that like it's hard to find those stories because like every time you type in Kellen Winslow, like everything about his son comes up. Um, but yeah, man, Kellen Winslow for me, number 5. He in a way they say certain guys redefine the position. Like this guy defined the position, man. Like there were 1,000-yard tight ends here and there, but no one did it, 2 or 3 times and at the level he was. So I'm gonna say Kellen Winslow.
I'm gonna say Antonio Gates. He wasn't the fastest, but he was a big body, former basketball player. He could catch. He wasn't outrunning you, but
You gonna grab that boy though?
yeah, he you might get mossed. That's for sure.
Yeah, you could jump though.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. He just can outrun you from him. But
Number 4, well,
Oh well, yeah. My number 4, I got Mr. Even though I don't like this team so much, but I respect this man, Mr. Jason Witten. So I say Jason Witten is my number 4. I mean,
statistically, he deserves to be up there. I don't have him in my top 5, but statistically, yeah.
And that's why I'm giving it to him statistically wise. You know what I'm saying? I hate to be that guy, but I mean, numbers talk. So I mean, he put up the numbers at over 12,000 yards, 72 touchdowns. So.
And he wasn't a big scorer, but he got yards, and like he just played on Dallas, man, and they just never made it past the first, second round, hardly ever.
And then he really played on the times when Mr. Romo, I love you somewhat, but I mean, bro, Romo just couldn't really get it done, man. He couldn't get it done.
Romo years were years you could have put up a lot of stats though. And this guy still didn't score a lot, so that's why I kept him out of my.
But that's what I'm saying. He was a stat sheet stuffer in the regular season, but it just nothing could really collab in the playoffs though. Like
I actually have Antonio Gates at my 4. I think he was. I take him over your guy just by a hair, but but then again, I have Winslow ahead of him too. But I think Gates was there. I mean, this like you said, this is a guy who played basketball before. He could jump. I remember all the dunking it over the goalpost when he scored. Like this guy was legit, man. When Antonio Gates was on the field, like he was a threat. Even late in his career, man, he was so good. Like it just never ended for him. So I got Antonio Gates at 4.
okay, my 4. I'm gonna say the coach, Mike Dick.
That's fair.
Yeah, and then coach turned head coach, won a Super Bowl. How many tight ends you see do that?
Yeah, I'm with you, but I don't give him credit for his coaching career. I don't even have him in my top probably 8, but
Hell, stop.
that don't count toward your tight end stats. I'm just
All right, you're right.
he ain't top 8 for me, but I mean, hey, you stick with your guys.
No, but for real, he was a problem back in the day. You know, they was calling him Iron Mike because people didn't want to see him in the open field. They like
one of the things we just talked about is like he was one of the first guys to have 1,000 yards as a tight end. Like it was mind blowing back then.
Yeah, especially in that time, when running backs pretty much ran it. So especially here with Gale Sayers and those guys, you still being productive even with that running back, you're doing something good.
Number 3, this is where I got my guy Gronk. I think he deserves this because of his playoff ability. His playoff, and I agree, being able to play with Brady ups your playoff stats, but he was great in the playoffs. He wasn't, it's not like he was just there and he played a lot of games, so he racked up a lot of stats. He was great in the playoffs, scored a lot in the playoffs, and because of that, and with his obviously regular season stats, I have him here at number 3.
What you got, Walt?
I actually got Antonio Gates at 3. Just pretty much based off, what you guys said. Basketball, turning to football. You throw it up there, he grabbing it. It's just unfortunately, he had to play on the Chargers that weren't really doing so well at the time he was there, but he was still putting up the numbers. But he just really couldn't get it done. So, but yeah, like I said, I say he's definitely my number 3 for sure. And yeah.
Say my number 3, Tony Gonzalez.
Ooh, okay. The disrespect with this one.
You didn't even listen to the other 2. What the hell?
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah. Hey, yes. That's it's top 3, I guess. It's top 3.
I didn't say number 6.
All right.
Damn. No, but seriously, Tony, he was Kansas City for a long time. When you thought of the Kansas City Chiefs, it was Tony and Larry Johnson for a couple seasons, but mainly Tony. And he had 15,000 yards. He had 111 touchdowns. That's
we're talking about up there with T.O. and Randy Moss.
Yeah,
like that's crazy. He wasn't a big touchdown guy, but he was above average. He was about 6 to 9 a year.
Mm-hmm.
But yardage, man. 8 yards.
His lowest yards in receiving was his first year. That was 360.
He didn't start a single game that year either.
Even his last in Atlanta, he still had like 859. Like, bruh.
And he played in Atlanta on like Matt Ryan's worst 4 years too. So,
last 5 years. Well, Matt Ryan's worst 5 years. Yeah. But imagine him with like a Julio and a Roddy White.
It actually feels like it would have been tougher to get yards with those guys, but yeah, I mean he's still
but you got to think who you gonna double cover.
Yeah, prime TG with those guys,
and then you can't put 8 in a box because then you putting your linebacker 1-on-1 with Tony Gonzalez, or your corner 1-on-1 with Julio. It's like, bruh, pick your poison.
Number 2, I got Shannon Sharp. Man, this man was insane. It's just he doesn't have the overall stats, but he had some down years here and there. But when he was healthy, Shannon Sharp was unstoppable, man. Like he really was a receiver. Like we talk about receivers, he was legit a receiver, man. He had more speed than most of these guys, and he had the ups. It's debatable whether he had the hands that these other guys had, but still, like he had the athleticism that a lot of these guys didn't have, and he was a threat every time when he was healthy. So I got Shannon Sharp at 2.
Well, I actually got Mr. Tony Gonzalez at 2. I got him at 2, man.
I want to know who he got at number 2.
Yeah.
I got Shannon Sharp. I just said I got Shannon
You
Sharp.
got a number one.
He got Shannon Sharp at number 2.
All right, what you got? Why is he Tony Gonzalez number 2?
I mean, just based off everything my boy Nico just said. You feel me? Like he's definitely going up there to grab it. And Tony Gonzalez put up the numbers, like you said, 111 touchdowns. Like he's pretty much like another receiver. So, like I said, but unfortunately, he was with Kansas City, and they were definitely not doing good at that time. So,
right,
he was just able to still put up the numbers. And
Trent Green tried his best.
He tried, but it wasn't the greatest performances at all. So I mean, but hey, he's still one of the top tier tight ends of all time. So
who you got, Nico? Number 2.
Shannon, gotta be. He at home. He was probably before Vernon Davis, the first home run hitter at tight end. Like if he gets some space, you might not catch him. And he was only like what, 225, 215, 225. Playing tight end. Having to block D ends every other play.
When most tight ends get to the ball, the announcer will usually use the word rumble. Like rumble, big man, rumble, or watch him rumble. When Shannon Sharp caught the ball, boy, he didn't rumble. He flew, man. He had wheels. Like
100%.
Didn't he run track, I think, in college too?
That's a good question. I don't know.
But anyway,
Ozzie Newsome at number 1. Go ahead, Walt.
Wait, hold on. I ain't done.
Okay. I was saying,
I mean, go ahead.
No, but seriously, like Shannon, he was a small tight end that could, he had to do both. He had to block those big D ends, and he also had to outrun your best corner, your best linebacker, best safety. And then, you got to think he was blocking for Terrell Davis. Terrell Davis rushed for 2,000 yards one of them years. And you only a 220-pound tight end? Like, come on, bro. You put in the work. You put in the work.
He put that work in.
Oh, yeah. He definitely got that. He's got that down south strength. They say you never supposed to fight a man from the south. They got that other strength. So we ain't gonna never fight John because he got that other strength.
Okay.
And he got them long arms. Well, go ahead, Walt. What you got?
Yeah, tell us why it's Ozzie Newsome. Go ahead.
My number 1, of course, is definitely I'm gonna say Rob, bro. Like just because off of playoff performances, bro. I'm big on playoff performances, and I'm big. Like I said, I'm really big on playoff performances. So I want Rob. He put up 4 Super Bowls. Like I said, even though it was with Tom Brady, but at the same time, he was a red zone threat, and I feel like that's key. Being a red zone threat, and like I said, throwing it up there, he's going to get it. So Rob is my number 1.
You going, John, or you want me to go?
I'll go. I mean, you guys know who mine is.
Don't be talking about no Mark Andrews just because he went to Oklahoma.
Okay. Y'all know who mine is. It is Tony Gonzalez, man. This man, when we talk about these guys, what did most of them have? Well, Shannon Sharp had John Elway for most of his career. Gronk had Tom Brady for most of his career. Gates had Philip Rivers for most of his career. This guy had Elvis Gerbach.
The hell I got to do with him?
Rich Gannon for like half a year. He had Trent Green. He had Damon Heward, Tyler Thigpen, and then he had Matt Ryan in his worst 5 years. Those were his quarterbacks.
Okay. Wait. Hold on. Now that you're saying that, are you saying DeAndre Hopkins is one of the best receivers in the game then?
I still believe I mean, if DeAndre Hopkins is healthy, I still believe he's top 3 receiver in the game.
No, that ain't what I asked you. Do you think he's the best in the league? Because he's had a lot of quarterbacks too. He was still productive year in and year out.
But this guy has more touchdowns and yards than all the other guys too. He didn't just play with 7 different quarterbacks.
He was the only guy to throw to. Ain't nobody else to throw to.
I'm just saying. Okay, well, guess what? It was him a lot, and teams double teamed him a lot, and he still came through. That's all I'm saying. This man played with, and these, I didn't say Tom Brady. I didn't say John Elway. I didn't say Dan Fouts. I said Elvis Gerbach. I said Damon Heward, Tyler Thigpen, and a couple good years from Trent Green.
All of them went to Oklahoma. That's your fault.
Yeah. Well, because of that, and being able to put together, we're talking about 15,000 yards. We're talking about top 4 all time. We're talking about up and company with T.O., Randy Moss, and Jerry Rice. That's it. And to do it with the quarterbacks he did it with, no, for me, Tony Gonzalez is the clear cut number
also
1.
have Matt Ryan, but what do I know?
Yeah. So Matt Ryan might be comparable to Phillip Rivers, but not John
Damn,
Elway
or that what you're trying to say?
He's not Tom Brady, and he ain't.
What you trying to say,
John Elway? So
that's good. Even though Tom Brady throwing the ball, you still got to catch the damn ball, though.
Right? Come on, bro.
Regardless of who's the quarterback back there.
If anything, New England is more of a system thing than anybody.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Those guys had Tom Brady throwing to them, and they still caught fewer balls, fewer touchdowns, fewer yards than this guy did.
Dude, he played like 18 seasons.
It don't matter. Wait, but name me the season that he ever took off. Name me the season he ever took off. Go look at his career. 16 games, 16 games, 16 games, 16 games, 16, 15, 16, 16, 16, 16. It was always that way. The dude was consistent. And for that, that's another reason why he is the greatest tight end of all time for me.
He played 16 years.
I mean,
unfortunately, it don't matter.
If Gronk, all right, so you're telling me if Gronk played 16 years, come on, bro.
No, here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. If Tony Gonzalez played with Brady, he has 5 rings. That's all I'm saying.
He already got 7. What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying TG. I'm saying Tony Gonzalez has 5.
Oh. Whatever.
Everybody entitled to their own opinion, man.
Right, yeah. And number 1 got to be
It's not close. It's not close for me. It's Tony Gonzalez by Lynn.
It got to be Gronk. It got to be Gronk.
You got to get to the playoffs for me, man.
He dominated in New England, for crying out loud. What other offense?
And also won the Super Bowl without him.
Let me ask my question. What other offensive player outside of Randy Moss dominated in New England?
Wes Welker?
He didn't dominate.
He averaged like 1,200 yards a season.
He was efficient. He didn't dominate.
No. Those are better numbers than Randy Moss was putting up almost. What do you mean?
And technically, Randy already had he only had like 1 good year.
That was only in touchdowns. Wes Welker still had more catches and more yards than him that year.
No matter. 23 touchdowns. Can't beat it.
I agree with that, but I'm just saying, Wes Welker, you just said who? I named you a guy, and now you're trying to act like you did it. Put up 1,200 yards a season.
Are you sure about Wes?
Yes, Wes torched him up there. What are you talking about?
Look, we're gonna just agree to disagree. Gronk is I ain't gonna say he's the GOAT tight end, but he's definitely like 1 or 2.
Definitely, I agree.
1 or 2, and then he was playing with that big ass cast on his arm for like 5 seasons. How are you able to maneuver and catch and block and all that with that thing? He made it work. And
I might have actually been able to help him block with that big old thing on his arm, to be honest.
And then Tom hit his line like, hey, I'm going to Tampa. I need you to come with me. And then he caught, 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, man. Has Tony ever made it? No, I'm just playing. I ain't going to do that.
I mean, I did the same thing. I did the same to Jason Witten. I took him out of my top 5 because, he not only did he not make the Super Bowl, he never made the playoffs except maybe 2 games in his whole career. But that being said, like Jason Witten had quarterbacks who put up a lot of numbers, so it makes sense that he would have a lot of numbers. This guy did not play with guys who put up a lot of numbers and still put up insane numbers.
Jason Witten was like, he was just a bruiser. Like, he was like a physical tight end. He wasn't out running you, but he would out physical you for the ball.
Yeah,
that's pretty much.
Right. Jason Witten, and he was low on touchdowns compared to these other top guys, but he had the yards. He had the yards. But I took him out because he had the
I
guys.
ain't gonna lie to you. If Jimmy Graham never leaves New Orleans, boy,
You ain't lying. You ain't lying. He was insanely talented. But anyway,
I ain't gonna lie.
that's our top five.
After it wouldn't have worked out in Seattle, I would have been like, if I'm Drew Brees, I'm like, hey, let's try to get Jimmy back down here so I could dominate. Like, imagine him and Michael Thomas in that red zone. Lord Jesus, that ain't. Woo, woo. I might have picked up Drew in fantasy just based off because they gonna score.
I mean, him and Gronk came in the league at the same time, and when Gronk, when Jimmy up until last year, they had the same stats in the regular season.
Well, I think about Aaron Hernandez too. They were drafted the same year.
But that's our top five.
But okay, so real quick, guys. Vince Carter's house was robbed while his wife and kids were inside. It's one of them crazy stories. Just prayers go out to his family. Hopefully whoever did it don't come back. To see if they can still. People crazy, man. They'll come back.
I mean, I'm hoping that they caught him or at least got some type of information.
It don't sound like they.
Me and John was discussing this though, because I mean, my fault. I didn't mean to cut you off. But,
no, you good. Go.
We were just saying like of how the robber knew like where it was at and how much he even knew was even in the house. Because I think it was like 100,000 or whatever stuffed in a brown bag or whatever. But I mean, I was asking John like that just sounds like that was possibly somebody that might have even possibly known him or that was close to him. You know what I'm saying, to even know where that was at. So I mean, I wanted to get your opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I do feel like it's a possible inside job though, because I mean, for somebody to actually know how much you had stashed away and exactly where it's at, I mean, that's just a terrible thing to have to go through for that family though. Like especially with the wife and kid being there by herself. Like I mean, that's just
that's a bummer about all the situation.
I feel like they're gonna find him though, because I think in the reports that they said that somebody left a fingerprint on the back window or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
That's usually how they get found out. You touch the door,
I think they're gonna possibly find out who it is, and so I think once the story develops a little bit more, I think that's what we're gonna possibly find out. And then I mean, I'm curious to see if it is somebody close to Vince, honestly.
Go ahead, John.
No, that's right. That's the thing. Is most of these situations, it's someone you're a friend with, it's family. It's like man, it's an eye-opening situation when it is. I'm not saying this is, but when that happens and you're like, man, I thought that was my friend and they sold me out for money. Like, all right, like if they would have asked, I might have given them some. But my takeaway from this was to what Nico said is them come back was the reporting on this was crazy. I mean, they gave a detailed of where the money was hidden and like I'm like, dude, why are you telling this guy's info? So like he had they said he had a gold handled Desert Eagle in it under by the bed, and I'm like, why are you telling everyone? Like now everyone's like, okay, all right, so it's like when I go in, I go left, and then there's the bedroom, and like I was like, geez, man, like and they're like, oh, Vince Carter's house down on 800 this street, and it's like, what the heck, man? Like that was my whole thought was like the reporting on this was like, yo, y'all just gave a detailed layout for where everything was in the house, where's his weapons, where's the money kept. Like, someone needs to look into this guy who's writing the story. You know what I mean? Like, what the heck, man? Like he might be in on this. Not really, that's a joke, but still, just I couldn't believe how much information they gave about this. I was like, but. We're only talking about it because his wife and kids are safe now, but that's got to be scary. I mean, that's not something you forget, and that's hopefully, she can, this doesn't traumatize her for a long time. But yeah, man, like that's just is a bummer. But glad everyone's safe.
True. Yeah, it's just crazy, man. Like they saying that he broke the hinges off, and like he went through the front window gate. The front first window on the floor, I should say. And then just rampage through like everything though. Like that's just insane. Like I couldn't imagine. Like, but I mean, my thing is, if you in my house though, you know what I'm saying, Vince do got that thing in the house. I mean, hey, you better send off a warning shot. I'm just saying, like, hey, at the end of the day, you just broke in my crib, so I got the right to defend my house. So
Yeah,
I mean,
I think at that
the wife
point,
and
though,
the kid did the right thing though by hiding. You know what I'm saying?
but I think in the future, all men and parents, this might sound crazy. Well, not maybe not men. I mean, not don't parents don't, but men, you gotta teach your wife how to shoot a gun for times like this when you're not
Honestly,
at home, you work.
women go to the gun range more than men though. Honestly, like
No, I'm just saying, you have to start, showing your wife this stuff so they know, so situations like this can occur or
honestly,
they
my
don't get
wife,
away with as much as they did.
my wife, she used to go to the gun range like at least about once or twice a week.
You told us she was G.I. Jane. We know.
Man, I'm trying to tell you. I told you I can't fuck up for nothing.
Whoa, buddy, hold on.
She gonna pop one of my. I'm just saying. No, I'm just playing. I'm not saying I will. I'm just saying.
Hey, cut that out. John,
You gotta come
disregard
back.
everything you just
She
said.
said right there in the back. She heard me.
No, I'm talking about the viewers.
Oh man, look, I'm being
You-
real with my viewers. I don't give a damn.
You shut our shit down before we get started.
Oh my
hey
God.
man, like you know what's crazy about this is a lot of time when the feds get involved in stuff like this is like all the money that they find laying around the house. Good luck getting it back. Like you have to you know what I mean? Like anytime there's a crime involved and like of any sort, shoot, it don't have to be a crime involved. If you try to go to the airport and you got cash in your thing, they will confiscate it for for no reason at all, with no right. And like good luck, it'll take you months, if not years, to get your cash back. So that's the reason like it's not good to have just cash laying around because yeah, when stuff like this happens, man, good luck getting your money back from the feds, man. They will sit on your money forever. Probably invest it, make a little bit off of it, and then finally give it back to you when they're done with it. You know what I mean? Like it's like so all that money that was because they said like there was like 16,000 laying out in the front yard with a Glock or whatever, which might have been like the guys dropped it, which might have been their gun too. Which to Walt's point, I'm glad like him, his wife, and kids stayed hidden. If these guys really were armed, but um, yeah, it's just like, dude, good luck getting that money back. That's tough, man.
But that's another thing. It's like, bro, you did all that, and then you flee the scene, and you dropped everything that you went in the house for, though. Like, what the hell? Like, what was the purpose of you even doing all that? Then you was gonna just drop it right in front of the house. Like, it's just.
Well, right. If it's in a bag, like, what are you trying to open it up while you're running to the car? Like,
you doing the dumbest stuff, bro. I don't get it, man. It's like,
tell them how to do it, Walt. Tell them how to rob a house properly. Like,
I definitely don't know how to rob a house, but I'm just saying, like, the whole purpose of you going inside the house was to get the item. So, I mean,
no, I agree. It's like Snoop Dogg has that show, like Stupid Criminals. I don't know I forget what it's called, but I was watching on Peacock where it's like Dumbest Criminals, whatever. And yeah, these guys might make the next episode. Who knows?
I don't think they thought that game plan through. Honestly, I just think they just kind of wigged that. So tough cookie, bro. I think you about to go to jail now, man. So you just did all that just to drop everything on the front floor on the ground. I'm not laughing at the family, but I'm just laughing at his stupidness. So,
Nico.
oh,
we lost there.
Yeah, it was.
What else we got, Nico?
Very idiotic. Warriors kept receipts to remind the haters, doubters, and more that they're still a championship caliber team. I mean, they really didn't, because you won. I mean, that's the best talking you can do.
Exactly.
You won. Just prove them wrong.
I ain't got shit to say on this. I'm getting tired of talking to these motherfuckers.
Well, this is we never did talk about the Warriors after they won, and I agree. I ain't got much to say either. My whole thought is, have they gotten bored with winning? Like where you know what I mean? Like after winning, it's not even like a big celebration anymore. It's more like just going on Twitter and like calling everybody out, whatever. Like I think they've almost gotten bored with winning, like in a sense.
If you really think about it, they technically only got 2 rings. KD gave them 2. I'm just saying. So I mean, yeah, they could be tired of winning. I get that, but I mean, bro, technically, I feel like
a question.
I don't know.
I got a question for y'all then. Who lived to regret their words the most? Nick Wright, when he's, and again, I have plenty of times where I've been wrong on stuff, so this is not like a shot at anybody, but Nick Wright, when he said the Warriors will never win a championship or never make the finals again, and Andrew Wiggins is a bad player, or Jason Tatum when he said that Jabari Parker is better than Andrew Wiggins, or LeBron when he said, y'all keep that same energy when we start playing. Who do you think regrets their words the most now at the end of this season? Obviously Nick Wright. Not even close. It's not even close. For me, it's obviously Nick Wright. I mean,
because at the time,
I'm very cautious about ever calling someone a bad player. That's a stretch to go.
You could say Tatum though. I mean, just off the fact because Andrew Wiggins was giving him the business in the finals.
Yeah, but at the time he said it
as a teenager, and Nick Wright said it.
The night of the draft.
I don't care. So what? That's still you talking mess.
Oh my God, that don't make no damn sense.
No, that is someone's words coming back to haunt them years and years and years later. But he said it as a teenager, whereas Nick Wright said it last year. As a grown,
that's real.
Getting paid to
didn't think that Warriors are gonna not make it back to the finals, though. I mean, let's be real. I didn't think it was gonna be this soon. I didn't think it was gonna be this soon, but I eventually thought they were gonna make it back to the finals, honestly.
And that Andrew Wiggins pick was terrible. I mean, you have to be super careful. I used to do a show with another guy, and he used to there's a guy on the Suns now, a guard on the Suns. He used to play for the Bulls. Cameron Payne, right?
Oh, Cameron
Payne. Dude called him trash every time we did a show. And I said, listen, this dude, if you put him in any court, he would probably drop 30 points on your head. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm very cautious about calling a player garbage or trash or terrible or bad or whatever.
Oh, stop.
Maybe he was just
it's
garbage.
It's like saying, oh, man, I don't think my team will make it this year. But then they make it to the conference finals. You couldn't predict what was going to happen, but it happened. You think they're going to be like, how John eat them words?
I agree. That's not a bad take. That's not a bad take.
It happens.
I agree, but calling someone a garbage player is different than like saying team. I mean, here's the thing, right? It's like if I said like 30 teams weren't going to make it to the finals, I was right about 29 of them. So you can call me out all day for getting the one team wrong, but I was right about 29. I'm going to feel good about myself. But I'm just saying, when you call a guy trash or garbage or bad or whatever, that's a stretch. So I think that's why for me it's Nick Wright. But anyway, I've got my own that I regret saying, but I still don't mind them being out there though.
They'll be all right.
Congratulations.
Draymond doesn't. Next topic. Draymond doesn't want himself lumped into sports media, claiming he is part of new media. You're a part of the media. It doesn't matter. Sports media, new media.
This guy's been signing stuff.
Old media,
new media,
white media, black media. You're a part of the media.
You don't want to lump yourself, but then you call yourself new media, though.
You're still media at the end.
He says that the old heads are critical and that the new guys are all positive all the time. I'm like, Draymond, go look at all the things you ever said. You think Pat Beverly kicked off his career by saying nice things about players? You think Richard Sherman kicked off his career by saying nice things about players? You think Tyreek Hill kicked off his by not calling out Pat Mahomes? Like, this is how these guys get started, man. You don't get started by saying, oh, I really like the Bears. You know, no, you get
this is kind of like off topic, but just because you brought up Tyreek Hill, do you know they said that he got death threats because he called out Patrick Mahomes?
Who?
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, there's always those idiots on the internet.
You gotta stop, like, bro. It's just sports.
Like, really, my fault. But I'm just saying,
I have no problem bringing that up. Like that, those idiots are out there. That's the thing, though. Is like a lot of times whenever people bring up like, oh, this person said this. Like, trust me, that person never liked you from the start. It had nothing to do with. They probably don't even watch you play. They probably don't even watch NFL. They probably don't watch NBA. They're probably just on the internet trolling. And so I don't even dislike their stuff because I might keep an eye on them, but I don't like them to get no attention. Like, but I agree with you. Like, there's too many of them idiots, man, especially on YouTube. But
yeah,
it's been good to us so far.
He's a part of the media. We're a part of the media.
He's part of the job, though. Like, let's be real.
JJ Redick is a part of the media. You're a part of me. No matter how you try to put it,
It's part of the job.
media. So
I do wonder, like, if new media too, just if they just mean people who have played. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we just want all athletes all
Probably
the
so,
time.
because Draymond always bring that up a lot, though. Like, he always say, like, "Oh, all you analysts don't know what you're talking about because you haven't played the game of basketball." Like, bro, like, just because you play the game, just because you play the game, that don't actually mean you
that are
know the
still
game.
good at their job.
But also, the new guys don't really tell us either. Like, they're, you know what I mean? Like, dude, the greats used to come on and talk on TV, and they wanted to. Good luck getting an interview with Kevin Durant. Good luck getting LeBron to come on your show. Good luck getting Damian Lillard to come on your show. Like, they just don't do it. And then they say, you know, oh, and then they go on their podcast. And by the way, I'm all for it. I have no problem. But like, they go on their podcast and be like, yeah, these guys don't understand because they don't play the game. It's like, true, that's fair. But you also ain't telling us either. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're just sitting here listening, like, waiting for, and like, instead, the only thing we get out of you is you remove all your pictures from your old team off Instagram. You know what I mean? Like, hey man, just use words. Like, let us know how you feel. Like, talk to us. But we just get this petty like back and forth between the people, and it's like, all right, but yeah, he's been signing stuff now, new media, instead of like his tweets will be, you know, this, new media, and it's like, yeah, I know you're trying to say there's something to it, buddy, but like, you made your career by kicking people in the nuts. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you didn't get famous for dropping 25 in a finals game. You got famous for a lot of different stuff. You know what I mean? So, but you know, I love it though. I do love it, but I don't know what it means. I don't know what this new media means. That's what I'm still trying to figure out.
So you just gonna come at him like that, huh?
Yeah, he kicked Steve Adams 7 times in one series, kicks LeBron once and gets suspended. How come we didn't get that suspension? That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, those kicks led up to LeBron's.
Right. I was just about to say.
Hey, you talk about that. Like, I was watching that Hustle, LeBron's new movie, Maverick Carter's new movie, and they said, you know, there was a line where they said, "You're the first year in the NBA, you ain't gonna get them calls."
They said that,
and I said, that's called rigging games. If you are taking fouls away from a player and giving them to another player based on who they are, that's called rigging games.
And they do it all the time.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm like,
Brady,
NBA,
you don't do it for Justin.
Admit to rigging games on this movie. That's all I'm saying. The NBA admitted to rigging games themselves in that movie. That's all I'm saying. When Steve Adams can get kicked 6 times, but LeBron can get kicked once, and it's different.
Man, what's your trivia? What's your trivia?
All right. I'm excited for this one. Are you all ready? I don't think y'all ready for this.
Oh boy, it ain't about soccer, is it?
Oh man, you know it. All right, here we go. Oh, I got my Ecuador shirt on today. It's reversed. I forgot which side it was on. All right, here we go. What? Y'all even ready for this? What NFL player debuted as a professional wrestler in 2004? It's a linebacker.
Brock Lesnar.
No, what NFL player? NFL linebacker debuted as a professional wrestler in 2004. Chicago Bears. Middle linebacker.
Brian Urlacher?
8-time Pro Bowl linebacker. Brian Urlacher made a pro wrestling appearance in 2004. He slammed Survivor contestant Johnny Fairplay out of the ring in the process. When Chicago Bears discovered, they forced him to quit.
Who the hell is Johnny Fairplay?
Some dude off Survivor. I never watched Survivor. I don't know. All right. Here's a crazy one, right?
I gotta look that up.
Here we go. What at the 2000 Summer Olympics? How many members of the gold medal Spanish basketball team were later found? There's a Paralympics. Were found to have no disabilities. Of the 12-man team, guess how many?
10.
10 of them had no disabilities.
What the? How the hell you just guessed that?
That's messed up, bro. That's messed up. Those people are going to.
Wait.
What's the opposite of like the Hall of Fame for sports?
But wait, hold on.
They didn't win, right?
They won the gold medal.
They found out later, though, right?
Yeah, it got stripped, but I'm
They
just
still
saying.
getting stripped though, right? Yeah, they
Yeah,
definitely.
it gets stripped. Yeah. For
So
sure.
my question is,
Who does gonna
they
go
was
to?
just they was just rolling around the Olympics in wheelchairs, huh?
I don't
Like ain't
know.
nobody accidentally get up to do nothing.
What's the opposite of the Hall of Fame
He
for
said,
sports?
"Get up and do something." No, shut up.
Right, like one of them just accidentally like gets up. It's like, oh shoot. They're like,
Right, like, hey, I gotta go pee. Just get up.
Hey,
Like,
but
hey,
look,
what
you
you
gotta
doing,
give it
dog?
to them though. They had a hell of an actor. How the hell did they find out though? Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, what?
one
They
of them
didn't-
probably, they couldn't keep that going forever. What, you gonna roll
one
around?
of them slipped up later.
they had to because you had to do a hell of an acting job to keep that going. Like,
You gonna
that's
roll
like
around the
national
rest of your life in a
TV.
wheelchair for a gold medal?
Huh?
You're gonna roll around the rest in a wheelchair the rest of your life for a gold medal?
No, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. So it's easy slip up.
No, I'm saying the Olympics is like a 3-month thing. So
I agree.
like ain't nobody see them on the low.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, get up, go
That's
to
what I'm saying. That's a hell of an acting job for 3 months, bro. Like,
right, like even like to get food, you didn't get up. Hey, I don't want that. Like what?
And this wasn't like the
The hell?
70s or like 1850. This was like 2000.
sure.
All right, here we go. We got a question come in. Pop culture crossover. Which basketball player married a desperate housewife? Actually,
Tony Parker.
How the hell do you know this?
I did
bro?
know that one. I did that. Only reason I know it because Evan Longoria,
Oh,
the baseball player Evan Longoria, and
Bang, bang, bang.
damn.
Hey, Allie, keep them going. We here.
No.
We here.
Allie,
We here.
no,
Allie, we here.
no.
All right, wait. Here we go.
Allie question should be worth like 20 points. I ain't gonna
Here we
lie.
go. This might be considered pop culture. Who was drafted in the 7th round of the 1977 NBA draft by the Kansas City Kings?
How the
Larry
hell is that
Bird,
pop-
Larry Bird, Tony Dorsett
Bruce Jenner.
got drafted by the Kansas City Kings in the 7th round.
He was a basketball player.
Right. I thought he had.
Says they
I
drafted
know
him.
he was in the Olympics.
I don't think he
Or
played.
triathlon.
I don't think he played. All right, last one. This one might beat that. With the final pick of the 19 Who did the Philadelphia Sixers draft with the last pick of the 1983 draft? Here we go. Here's the answers. Clyde Drexler, Dominic Wilkins, Ralph Sampson, tell me if you know it already, or a 49-year-old pharmacist.
49-year-old pharmacist.
With the final pick, the 76ers Harold Katz took 49-year-old Norman Horvitz out of the Philadelphia College of Pharmacy. Apparently, they were friends. They were poker buddies.
Seriously.
And he didn't know who to pick with the pick, so he just picked his buddy. I wonder if that's why they changed it to like you can't draft people over 22 because of this guy.
Did he play?
I highly doubt it. Technically, he probably would have been the oldest player to ever play. All right, that's all we got for trivia today. I hope you enjoyed some of that.
For sure.
Hey.
It was good.
Well, that was a fun show, fellas. We appreciate the folks joining us tonight. Appreciate y'all watching Real Deal today. It's your boy Big Watt, my boy Nico Suave, nigga Suave than a mofo. My boy John, hardest working man in showbiz right now. And hey, make sure y'all comment, subscribe, like, keep on bringing on the questions. Ali, stop bringing them ridiculous questions so that Nico keep getting. Jesus.
And more importantly, like share it with your friends, man. Like we need, we're very appreciative of everyone who's subscribed, but like we need more people to see so they can subscribe and they can decide whether they want to subscribe as well. So definitely share the show with people.
Yes, but we appreciate all of you. Come back again when we go live. Like, share, subscribe, and tell your friends about us. So, we can bring you guys more dope content. That's all we're trying to do. That's all we're trying to do.
Just trying to grow. That's all. We just want to grow. That's it.
For
We
sure.
appreciate y'all. Love y'all.